everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Angel Renee of Just Makeup coming to you with her puffs in her home studio. Okay, anyways, what's up, y'all? Okay, so I'm representing my city on today. Had to, I'm here in Atlanta. It's getting a little chilly outside, so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead, bust out my hoodie or whatever, you feel me? Okay, anyways, if you have not seen my Instagram to know what I'm coming to you about today. Did that make sense? Coming to you about today, I don't know, but listen, I'm coming straight to you today regarding dairy. Yes, good old dairy, not good old bad old dairy. Okay, let's talk about it. I'm just gonna jump right into this video and just let you know my story. Okay, this video is actually going to go into like a couple different parts because I have other information that I would like to share with you all as well, but today is mainly going to I'm going to talk about my journey and what I have experienced since my diet has changed, because I call myself like, vegetarian vegan situation going on, right? So I'm just vegan at this point, and I just want to share with you all my journey in regards to letting go of dairy, and we're just gonna jump right into it. All right, let's talk about it. So first of all, I want to tell you, when I was pregnant with my youngest daughter, okay, little Georgia, her name is Jordan. When I was pregnant with Jordan, at that time, I was still eating like, dairy, okay? And that consisted of cheese. I was the cheese queen. Do you hear me? I mean, cheese queen, baby. Okay, I wasn't even drinking milk or eating yogurt. I never really liked yogurt ever. And I couldn't tell you the last time, honestly, I even drank a cup of milk. Like, I know you see my face, but like it makes me like that. I don't mean to offend anyone. This is just, again, my story and how I feel about it, and I'm not going to, change that up for anyone. This is my story. So basically, when I was pregnant with her, I was still, like I said, I was eating cheese. That was what I was eating. Oh, and also, like cookies that were not vegan and things like that. So I wasn't necessarily drinking milk, but if milk is added to cookies or stuff like that, I would of course have something that contained milk. Okay, so, and if you see me looking over here, it's because I'm actually looking at the time and myself, and I know I should be looking right here because there you are. Okay, so I might switch back and forth just to let you know. All right, so basically I was still eating cheese, guys, as I said probably like how many times already. And when I had her, I said to myself, I said, okay, with this child, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to breastfeed. Okay, I'm going to breastfeed. I can do this. All right. So, when I had her, we were in the hospital and everything, and I'm trying to breastfeed her. She wasn't really like getting any milk. Okay, so I'm like, okay, what's wrong with me? Why am I not producing the amount of milk that my baby needs, so that she can have her immune system built up naturally from her mother, because the milk that are in my breast are for her. Okay, that's the natural way. It's for her, right? All right, so that being said, I'm like, all right, so the nurse came in to like help, her like wean on, or whatever you call it, and she still just was not getting enough. So she would cry at night, and she just would just be upset and hungry. And I'm like, I can't have my baby out here hungry like this, So as you know, then a couple days later we went home and everything. I had the breast pump, and I would try to, you know, just do it that way by just pumping the milk and also trying to still put her on my breast. But it was like enough milk was not even coming out. I tried though. I really did try. I will say that I really did try. But unfortunately, at the time I was dealing with a lot of stress in my personal relationships, and then 3 days after my baby was born, my grandmother ended up passing. So I was just going through a lot of emotional difficulties at the time. I mean, when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Okay, so I'm sure that might have had something to do with my milk production. I know that it did. You know, I know that it did. And so I kind of just stopped. I was an emotional mess, to be honest with you. So after that, I ended up getting some regular milk that the hospital had gave us, like, I don't know, like Similac, one of those situations. And what I noticed with my daughter, my youngest daughter, is that her breathing, it didn't sound right. I'm like, what's wrong with my baby? I could hear like wheezing or something. So my sister, who is a vegan, she's like, you know, you just need to take her off that milk. You know, we can get a recipe together by using like hemp milk, sea moss, and we can blend it up. And it was some other stuff she said that we could use or whatever. And I'm telling my sister, like, no, Ashley, like, no, we're not doing that, you know. I'm like, well, maybe we need to. So I'm like going back and forth. I'm an emotional mess. I'm like, I don't know what I need to do. So I took her to the doctor. And I'm talking to the doctor about it. So the doctor's like, oh, we need to put her on a breathing machine. I'm like, oh my gosh, right? So I'm like, my baby on a breathing machine. She was like, this is going to help her with the wheezing and blah, 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 and all that jazz. So, of course, they hit you with a bill. Boom, breathing machine, $100 and some. Boom, medication you got to get for it was like prescribed medication. I don't even know. Anyway, it all went to waste because I ended up using the breathing machine a couple times. And when my sister and I talked, I'm like, it has to be something else. It's something to do with this milk. I'm like, as a mother, like, I felt it inside. It wasn't anything else. It just had to do with this milk. I'm like, it had nothing to do with like my baby born like that and she was born with this breathing issue. That's not what it was. It was something to do with that milk, and I knew it did. I just didn't know what to do, right? I didn't know my options, right? Going through all this emotional stuff, I didn't even have time to think or wanting to research. I'm like, one of the women that was so prominent in my life passed away. It was just a lot. Okay, guys, I'm like, So my sister helped me, and she's like, listen, this is what we can put together. And if any of you mothers want to know about what the milk that I ended up using for my daughter for a little while, let me know in the comments, and I'll get you that recipe if you want to use it, even for your older kids, anyone, or for yourself, doesn't matter. Anywho, and I'll get that information to you. I just didn't go into detail about that because I have all this other information for you. So basically, moving right along, I ended up taking my daughter to another doctor. Another doctor, and I ended up putting her on, because, you know, doctors, they don't want to hear anything about anything natural. If it's this type of doctor, like, they don't want to hear anything about natural this and plant-based this. They don't want to hear it. They're like, if I Google it and it doesn't come up where I can prescribe it, I don't want to hear about it. Okay, and I'm like, that's just that westernized medicine, and that's another topic for another day. We're not even gonna get into all that. Ooh, I just be having so much in my head, and I'm like, So anywho, as the months progressed and everything, I ended up putting my daughter, I ended up putting her on, it was an organic baby formula. So it did not contain dairy. It did not contain regular milk, all right? So it was some type of organic milk that I ended up using that did not contain dairy. So, and what did I notice? Of course, while she was even drinking the hemp milk and the sea moss and stuff, that the breathing got better, of course, right? So we stopped using the machine. I used the machine probably twice. So it was a waste. right? And I'm like, that's all I had to do was take her off that dairy. And now she's breathing better. And even with the baby formula that I started also using as well, no breathing problems, no wheezing, all of it went away. So we know, honestly, all it was mucus in her chest. Just like cold would be in your chest, that it was just a buildup of that from that dairy. Because we know, if you don't know, dairy, all dairy is white blood cells and white blood cells, and it's pus. That's what it is. And so, they get out as much pus as they can at the dairy farms, but they don't get it all out, of course. So anyway, that triggered something in my child's body that it was rejecting this dairy. Okay, so fast forward, she's vegan, she doesn't eat dairy. I have given her, she loves pizza, unfortunately, guys. So I'm learning how to make vegan pizza because she does like pizza. And I did, like I said before, I would give her pizza and let her eat that. And she wasn't having any breathing problems. But now that I fully know, like, the symptoms that can occur with dairy, it has brought me to another place of, like, forget it, no dairy at all, not even a little bit or sometimes. Because I know we try to say pizza's a treat and things like that. It's not a treat. It's not. So moving along to the story with myself, me and my cheese loving self. When I was a child, I used to go next door to my cousin's house, guys, and I would raid her refrigerator, okay? And I would just be like, where's the cheese? Bring on the cheese, okay? So her mother used to get Kraft singles, I think it was, or something. I don't know, one of those singles or whatever. And I used to just go and I used to just get some cheese and I used to just eat it, okay? You hear me? It was my thing, right? So as I got older, I kind of started backing off the cheese a little bit over the past months, because what I noticed is that when I'm eating cheese, like in my salad, or I'll make me a grilled cheese sandwich, what would happen is my nose would start itching. So it started off, my nose started to itch. I'm like, why does my nose itch so bad? And I don't mean just like, oh, your nose itching, no, I mean, this was like something attacking me, like literally attacking me. My nose, it was itching so bad, and then it started to run. And I'm like, it can't be the cheese, right? So I kind of backed up the cheese altogether for a little while. And then, guys, I got back on it, and my body started to itch. My stomach started to itch. My arms started to itch. My whole face started to itch. And it didn't just happen like boom. It'd be like I'd be in the midst of eating it. I'm like, I'm itching, like uncomfortable. And after a while of that, I still went on eating cheese. And I'm like, okay, I just won't eat it as much. I won't eat it as much. Maybe once a week. I won't eat it as much. Because that's how much I loved it, truly. And I'm like, I can't keep doing this to myself. So then once I started having breathing problems myself, literally to the point where not even, I was coughing up stuff, but not even coughing up the mucus. It was like pushing down. I don't know, it felt like it was pushing down like here, where I couldn't hardly breathe. I was like that. And I'm like, oh my Lord, what is going on, my dear? And I knew, I was like, oh no, hecky no, I'm done. And I'm like, I can't keep doing this to myself. And guys, I'm a popcorn lover, right? And I would get popcorn with butter on it. I had a couple weeks ago, no, it was more than a couple weeks ago, I had bought me a box of popcorn, and it had 12 packs in it. I ate one bag of popcorn. I was like, girl, do you see you cannot breathe, boo-boo? You cannot breathe. And you're sitting here. I was like, okay, I can't, because I can't breathe. Like, that's not good. It's not good. And now that I know that it's you, dairy, I'm done with you. We have to say our goodbyes. So that's what I did. I said my goodbye to dairy, guys. I said my goodbyes. Even dealing with like feminine issues with like yeast and things like that, TMI, whatever. Click off the video if you need to and then click back on, whatever. But seriously, even dealing with female problems when it comes to like yeast and stuff, I noticed that the yeast would come even more because of the cheese. And like I said, I wasn't dealing with these issues when you know, I was eating a for me, it was not healthy for me. Okay, the way that I was eating before was not healthy for me. But when I started eating better is when I noticed certain things that I normally would eat either started smelling really bad, started affecting my skin, started affecting my insides, started affecting my outsides. And I'm like, I can't do this to myself. And I don't want my family to go through this, you know. And part of me even telling you my story is because it's not where I'm like, I need you to do this. You know, I want everyone to live a happy, healthy life, you know. And a lot of the things that we honestly are dealing with are things that a lot of the ailments and things like that we're dealing with, stomach issues, you know, digestion issues or whatever, certain pains, certain issues with our menstrual cycle, things like that, acne, skin problems, like a lot of it comes from dairy. And, you know, it's so many lies that have been told to us about dairy and about how good it is. You know, you see the commercials with the milk mustaches and all that kind of jazz, when in reality, if you do your research, milk, and when I say milk, when I'm talking about cheeses, I'm talking about yogurts, things that come from cows. Actually, there's no research, no scientific research in the world that shows that it's helping our children gain, help strengthen our children's bones or our bones. But what has been scientifically proved is that it actually may cause bone loss. And there's no scientific knowledge showing that it helps people reduce the amount of fractures they have. None of it. It's not scientifically proven at all. But what it is proven is that it will stop you from breathing. It'll give you menstrual cramps out of this world. It'll keep your menstrual cycle going for 7-10 days. What's been proven is that that it does not fight against osteoporosis or help you gain more calcium in your bones. It's just all these different things, like breathing problems, stomach problems. Dairy is so harmful to humans. It gets to a point where it will eat the lining of your stomach and cause problems in your stomach, and it puts holes like in the bottom of your stomach lining that causes leaky gut syndrome. So a lot of people that are having different issues and the doctor can't figure out, well, I don't know what's wrong with your stomach. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. We'll have surgery. We'll not have surgery. Check out your diet. And I'm being so serious right now. Check out your diet when it comes to dairy. You know, I know you may say, oh, I don't have it really, you know. But a lot of the a lot of the foods that we may be eating, if you look at the back of the label, a lot of it may contain eggs, or not even eggs, I'm sorry, that's different, excuse me. A lot of it may contain milk. So you need to check the back of your labels. Even when you're buying spaghetti sauce, it'll say in small little writing on the back at the bottom, may contain milk or contains milk. Okay, so those are things that we actually have to be careful about and really think about when it comes to dairy. You know, I challenge you all on today, and I'm going to end this video here, but I challenge you on today to start taking dairy out of your diet. and just see the change that it does to your overall health, truly. But you have to give it a little time. Don't just say, oh, see, it didn't work, I don't know what she's talking about. Give it a little time. Work on like what I did. Little by little, I started taking different things away, right, to get to the place I am today. And I'm not even fully there, because there's things that I do want to take away and wean myself off of. So just start taking dairy out of your diet. Do it for maybe a couple weeks and just see how your skin may change, or how your stomach issues might change, or your eczema. I know some people have had heart attacks and strokes that are still living, you know, and if you're watching this video, take that out your diet. Take dairy out and just see your overall health and the change that I know deep down inside of me and my spirit that it will do a hell of a difference for you in a good way if you take that out. The mucus that you're always coughing up, you know, out your chest, like, you know, people are always or doing that, you know, check out that mucus, because that's all that it is. So, you know, I'm going to end this video here, guys, and we're going to get deeper into this subject, because I'm going to get into also what it does to our skin as a makeup artist. There are things that I can tell you that it does to our skin, and the effects it has on men and women, you know. And I want to talk to you guys about it, because I know that this will help us in the future with our overall health. You know, we may give it to our kids now and say, well, they're kids, you know, but you want to start off young, so that when they get older, they won't have excuse me, they won't have to deal with the coughing up the mucus even as a child, or dealing with strokes and heart attacks and acne and psoriasis and all the different things that what's in dairy causes for humans. Okay, we're not baby calves, y'all. We're not baby calves. Okay, that's not us. We're humans. All right. So, you know, I've had people turn up their nose when I talk about almond milk or macadamia milk or cashew milk. And it's like, how do you turn your nose up at something that's actually natural, that actually comes from the earth, but things that come from an actual cow, an actual animal that's full of white blood cells and pus, you don't turn your nose up at. And I was there. So I know what that wanting to ignore the truth is. And I'm sorry, it's my truth. So if it's my truth, I'm going to tell my truth. That's the truth, you know. Try it, guys. Macadamia nut milk is actually really good. My friend actually told me to try it out. Coconut milk, it's good. It's good. Macadamia nut is really good though. What I do here though with almond milk, because I'm trying to give you like little tidbits of milk really quick, just in case you want to kind of start switching over. Almond milk is a little bit more acidic, so it may not do your body all the way good. It's not bad for you. It's not that it's bad for you, but that's another video. It's not that it's bad for you, but these are different, like, milks that are good. Like I said, cashew milk, macadamia milk, coconut milk, almond milk. Those are some of the natural milks that are made for us to drink from the earth, and they're good. They are. Everybody has their own taste buds, so you know what? I may think macadamia nut is the best. You may think coconut milk is the best. So just try them out, you know, try them out. Why not? I'm going to end this video here, all, and I'm going to get back to you in a few days with some more information on what they're doing in these dairy farms. You'll be really surprised about how they're treating these animals that are God's creation. Okay, is horrible. Horrible. So even if you are like, I love dairy and I'm not letting it go, if you find out what they're actually doing on these dairy farms to God's creatures, that in itself might just end up changing your mind. All right, I just want to tell you that I love you, and I'm so glad that you're on here getting in this knowledge that I'm giving to you. I appreciate you. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I love you guys, and peace.